This video picks up at the start of May, and we decided it was time for the next project, which was trying to make safe the consumer unit and the gas meter and the electricity meter. The old consumer unit really wasn't very safe. It was held together with bits of tape, bits of wire sticking out all over the place, and generally the circuits in the house weren't great. We had visits from Octopus, who are our gas and electric supplier, and also National Grid came out too. They replaced the gas meter, but they didn't earth it very well, as Stu's showing. They didn't fix it to the floor very well, but never mind, we got over that.
This bit is absolutely lovely.
Guess who fitted that?
I didn't fit this, and it's on the wonk. Nothing else is.
At this stage, the old consumer unit was condemned, which meant running the whole house from 2 plug sockets for a couple of days. The old consumer unit came off, and the wires behind it were really short, but Stu did a great job identifying which one did what job. He wanted to neaten up the whole corner of the cupboard, and he started adding all of the wires to the new consumer unit.
Put a little tiny hole in them, yeah? Do this, and they come out so much easier.
He added trunking to the inside of the cupboard to hide all of the wires. Added them to the new junction box, which was down where the old consumer unit was, and then wired it all into the new consumer unit. Somehow it made sense of all of these wires. I don't know how he did it. Next up was making sense of the wiring to the lights in the hallway and making sure everything was neat and safe. Stu added what I'm calling flugel binders to the end with these crimping tools. Anyone who's seen the film Cocktail will know where flugel binders comes from. He added an earth as well because I didn't have one on this socket. It's looking much better already, and he's far happier with it. So here we have the final under the stair cupboard with the junction box on the left, all of the wires looking much neater, and the final consumer unit. So now we have a safe house. We moved on to outside projects for a while. So step 1, removing the wall that was outside on the patio, which had bricks that didn't match anything. We started trying to tame some of the flower beds at this point too, so a lot of weeding happening, making things look a lot tidier outside. Bella decided she had a new favourite spot sitting on top of the topsoil. At least it was better than when she started jumping over the fence at first.
I don't like it.
Oh, and we had a bat in the bedroom. We got ourselves a new pressure washer from Aldi. Really good at cleaning the bricks off all around the patio, and the place you could see the most difference was around the side next to the kitchen. There's a good before and after shot. The drain even got a good cleaning as well to make sure it wasn't blocked. We enjoyed some quite nice weather at the start of summer, and the garden started to really look nice. Lots of roses out, our pots seemed to come out really well, and it just looked really pretty out the back. Of course there was obligatory more tree chopping down, which I don't think will ever end around here. Anne and Graham came over to help us with this, and did a great job trimming the copper beech out the front, which seemed to be taking over the whole pavement. The weeding continued, and out the back beside the fence we got rid of all of the old daffodils and bluebells, and it just started to look more tidy here too. The pond came into its own, the lilies came out, looked really gorgeous. but we do get a lot of weed in the pond, but the fish seem to like hiding under it. We started getting ready for the next project, which was to add gates and gate posts to the front of the house. We coated them with a special sealer to stop them rotting or getting woodworm, and I love the fact that it says Heron House on the gate. We hired a digger for a day, Stuart to get rid of this huge stump whilst the gate posts were going in. I don't think either of us realised just how big it was before we dug it up. We got it to this stage where it looks like it's out, but it's still attached at the back. So a little bit more digging. Then getting in with the obligatory chainsaw. And eventually, hey presto, it came out. It was huge. So the next step was to fill in the hole that we just made. But luckily, Stu made short work of that. Actually makes it look pretty easy here. So with his newfound digger skills, it was round to the front of the house to dig out the concrete posts where the new wooden fence posts needed to go. They dug in quite deep, so it's actually quite a tough job to get this out. There was a huge hole, but we did it. Then we levelled off the rest of the soil, ready for Cockles to come the next day to put the post in for us. At the end of the day, we were pretty pleased at what we'd done. We got the stump out, we tidied up. It doesn't look like there was a huge hole there a few seconds ago. As always, there's just lots of tidying up to do and lots of tip runs to do too. Good at making mess. Got to try and get rid of it all, haven't we? We wanted to replace the fence panels that are around the back beside the garage. They're kind of dug into concrete, so it took both of them with drills and hammers and all sorts to get it out. But they succeeded and the new fence started to go in. Not wanting to be left out, I decided I needed to go on the digger as well. The gate posts are in and we're just ready for the gate to be hung on them now. And the fence was finished around the side. It looks much better and is more secure now. We put grass seed down where the stump was, and again, more rubbish to clear out of the way. But luckily, we hired a skip. Hardest part was working out how to get the huge stump into the skip. So lots of chopping, lots of chainsawing, and eventually used a car jack to flip it over. It's worth mentioning we only had one night to get this done.
How you feeling, Stu?
Broken.
We got it all sorted after a few hours, and the front started to look much better again. Next up, chopping down more trees in the back garden this time. We had another new tool from Aldi. It's a little bit difficult to use this one, but it was really useful for this branch which was pretty near the railway shed. We had to get ready for the next big project, which is going to be the replacement windows. So that meant trimming down the wisteria and the jasmine in front of it so that the window fitters could actually see the windows. We've taken out so much dead wood and old branches from it, but we're left with a huge pile of leaves that we need to get rid of. The final result, it actually still looks really nice. We've still got some flowers on the wisteria and it looks much tidier. We've been wanting to take this conifer out beside the pond for a little while. We didn't realise it was going to give us a bit of a bigger issue.
Idiots, aren't they?
Right, so what are you gonna do with them?
I'm going to give them a you.
Pigeons rescued, we carried on.
Hello, Dad. Hello, Dad.
As soon as it starts to go, say something.
Confirm.
The last bit had a slight misdemeanour and ended up on top of the net, but all good in the end. Onto the last stage before the windows were fitted, and the fitters asked us to trim some of the ivy back as well so they could see the edges of the frames. So here we have it, it's the 22nd of August and we're ready for the after shots once these windows get replaced.